Hello, everybody. I'm David Greenwald, and you're probably not. Welcome to my series of short videos on what makes a good language course. First thing I want to talk about today is probably the most basic. I figure it's a good idea to start with the fundamentals. And yet, surprisingly, it's usually the basics that are missing and not the fancy details. We seem to be very good at developing all kinds of new approaches, but there's one thing that we often overlook, and that is method. What do I mean by that? Well, it's pretty simple. Today, the method most commonly used in language courses, not just in Slovenia, but all over the world basically, and I've taught in many places, is something that I like to call the angleščine. Meaning, a little of this, a little of that. Variety is the spice of life, and so we have to throw everything in that we possibly can. Today we're going to do a little bit of listening. We're going to do a textbook exercise number 3 on page 36, and then we're going to do some pair discussions and so forth and so on. The idea is to make the tečaj bolj živahen and zanimivo and all that stuff, which is great. Variety is good. Variety is important, and there are multiple skills involved in language learning, such as reading, speaking, listening, and so forth. So I'm not saying that's bad, but here's the thing. Underneath all of that variety and all of that interesting switching back and forth, different skills, blah, 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 there has to be some kind of consistent, logical, step-by-step sequence and method. And in general, there isn't one, because textbooks do not have a method. Textbooks are literally just thrown together. And if you don't know that, I'm telling you, that's how they work. I won't get into that whole story, but it's logical enough. Think about it. If you write an English textbook and you're a major publishing company, you want to sell that textbook everywhere, all over the world. And that means that there are many things you can't do because there are things the government in Saudi Arabia won't let you do. So it's a very complicated thing to get a textbook that will sell all over the world. And one of the first things that you have to get rid of is a consistent method. So as simple and strange as it may be to say, the first thing a good language course needs is an actual method on top of which you can put anything you want. You can do different things and have a lot of variety. That's fine. In the case of my courses, I have a very specific and extremely well-defined method. It's not mine. I didn't invent it. I stole it fair and square, but I have tried to use it as well as I possibly can and to adopt it to the needs of Slovenes. And adopting it to your needs as a Slovene speaker of English is, in fact, the topic of my next video. Hope to see you there. Take care until then.